Our guest is in the studio, the Honorable Senator for Kiambu County, calls himself the magical senator.
Miracle.
Miracle. It's miracle, not magic. Magical.
I'm also magical.
Oh, the miracle senator.
Have them both.
Karungo Adhango.
Yes, sir.
Good morning.
Good morning, Eric. Good morning, Du and CT.
Good
morning,
nice
brother.
to see you again.
Good to see you too.
I'm always happy to be here.
Karibu tena.
You know, the only show that is serious in Nairobi, you know, tackling issues without being personal. Yes.
Na hiyo jacket yako, my friend.
Yeah.
Imeenda skuli na imelipiwa VAT.
Jacket hii. Hata import declaration levy.
Yes.
Yeah. Tutajenga manyumba.
Tumetenga.
Tutajenga. Yeah.
City has the day's proverb. Today's proverb is from Tanzania.
Yes, the bitterness of a son is known by the parents. Yes.
Senator, what's your interpretation of that?
The bitterness of a son
Is known by a parent.
So you're talking about son, S-U-N, son, S-O-N.
Very good. Son, S-O-N.
Son, S-O-N. Okay. I think my interpretation is that it's only the mother who understands his children. So now that is direct interpretation. And when you now put it into the literal meaning, is that only those who are affected by a certain problem understand it's better. My thinking.
Okay.
Your thinking is good.
Eish.
We are aligned to your thinking.
Very good. Very good. Only those who are affected by the problem. The wearer of the shoe
Yes.
Knows where it pinches.
knows where it pinches.
Yeah.
Very good.
Yeah.
Karibu.
Asante.
Karibu. Now, there's a bill, this is an idea that you came up with and said, you know, I'd like to propose some amendment to the law.
Yes.
And you even went onto social media and said, you know, people, I have listened to people and this is the thinking. And you came up with an amendment, the Public Holidays Amendment Bill 2023, in which you are seeking some certain things.
Yes.
And I was telling Undu earlier,
Yeah.
we had just the other day, Moi Day is now called what?
Utamaduni Day.
Utamaduni Day was on Tuesday.
Yes.
Sunday is a weekend. Monday is a working day. Tuesday is a holiday. Wednesday is a working day. Now, according to the senator, you know, if we just look at reality,
Yes.
practically,
Yeah.
were people productive on Monday, knowing they've come from Sunday and they're going back to Tuesday of holiday? Maybe not. How about we just say, you know what? So this Monday in between, if the holiday cannot move to Monday, let the people move the holiday.
Or add to the holiday. Add a holiday.
Add a holiday. But basically, just tell us,
Yeah.
what is the import of you? What's the thinking behind your bill?
You know, first of all, thank you very much for inviting me here. And I don't know whether we should just go straight to the bill, or maybe I should just highlight of what other bills I'm working on, because you know sometimes
People
people just say, out of all the problems that we have, this young man is just telling us to rest. But anyway, I think you give me an opportunity to highlight other bills that
Yes.
I'm coming up with.
Yes.
But just to give you an example, that example you have just used, on Tuesday was a holiday. It is Utamaduni Day. Utamaduni is all about culture. You know, enjoying our traditions, getting to know our roots, and also understanding, you know, there is a lot of intermarriages that are happening. You want to understand the culture of your husband or your spouse, if I can use that term. But that's why we have that day, so that we can bring about the unity, you know, cohesiveness, you know, so that we understand each
Celebrate
other.
our diversity.
Celebrate our diversity.
Right.
But it was celebrated on Tuesday. Assuming my law was into was already approved, the counties could have used this opportunity to have cultural festivals. For example, Turkana will have its cultural festival, Narok will do the same, Mombasa will do the same. But if they do it for just a day, believe you me, nobody will travel to Mombasa for just a day. Nobody will travel to Turkana for just a day. You need time to travel. And you know, some people are saying we do not have money to travel. Of course you don't. But you see, there are those who do, who would want to grow this economy of ours by doing so. You know, we send our CSAs abroad to go and bring the tourists to this country. We don't say, in that country, people are poor, they can't come. We are inviting those who are able to come. Okay, so when I say that I want to extend, not really to extend this holiday, but I'm bringing about holiday economics. Because you see, on Monday, and I'm telling you this for sure if you can do your own research, government offices, maybe 90%, were not operational the way they should be operational. People in the office are not very productive because you're waiting for tomorrow. You know, people at that particular day, that Monday, our parents died, in quotes, our relatives died. What I'm trying to say is that people say my cousin is dead, I have to go for the funeral. You lie into your workplace because you want to connect Monday, Saturday, Sunday, Monday to Tuesday, because you want to do something. Now, all I'm trying to do is to make sure that I bridge that gap of you know, and production or when people are working. So my suggestion was that if a holiday happens to be on a Tuesday, remember you only have Monday here.
Yeah.
So the preceding day, which is a Monday, becomes a holiday.
Okay.
If it happens on a Thursday, the succeeding day, which happens to be a Friday, becomes a holiday. Why am I saying that? First of all, this is not a new phenomenon. Maybe in Africa, yes. But in countries like Philippines, they do the same. They actually call it holiday economics. In countries like China, where I have worked myself for 3 years, their New Year, they celebrate for a whole week. Their national holiday, which happens on 1st of October, they celebrate for 10 days. Their Labor Day, the one that we celebrate, here, just a Labor Day, one day, they celebrate it for 10 days. Why is that? Because, you know, you work from, like yourself, you work from very early in the morning, maybe 8 hours, just to rest 4. You work for 6 days just to rest 1. I mean, did you come to this world just to work
and not rest?
And you don't have enough time for your family. That's why we have mental cases all over, you know, because you're here at work. You do not have time to bond with your children. You do not have time to bond with your parents. When was the last time you went to see your parents up country? How long do you spend with them? You just get in there, talk to them a few when you're standing, leaning on your car, and then I'm so late, I'm going to go back home. So what you're trying to say, we are going to inculcate a culture of we need time, just like Easter. What happens during Easter? You know, people are saying that economically it cannot work. Hustlers need to work. Hustlers work on holiday. So we're actually giving them an opportunity to get more opportunities. Because if Eric or maybe CT, even you have a house that you're building up country.
On a public holiday, you are there supervising the
You
jungle.
supervise, and when you go there, economically, you are going to spend there. I'm bringing money close to the hustlers, you know. And Eric, look at it this way: COVID, we stayed home for 2 years. You know, work is overrated sometimes. It is. We stayed home for 2 years. Even people say drivers were working from home. But what I'm trying to say is that...
So if I just see the sense, and so far how you've explained it, it makes sense. If it falls on a Tuesday, the preceding day also becomes a holiday. If it falls on a Thursday, the succeeding day also becomes a holiday.
Yes.
Sour.
Right.
Wednesday, it's the middle of the week. It's disruptive.
Yes.
Do you have a solution for that?
I looked into that, but I couldn't really. I couldn't have a solution for that.
So if it comes on Friday, move it to on Wednesday, move it to Friday or something.
I couldn't because I don't know whether you're trying to tell me now
Or
to say
move it-
Monday, Tuesday.
Move it to
Monday, Tuesday, guys. No. Wednesdays stays Wednesdays because at least you have 2 days here.
Saturday
2 days there.
stays Saturday.
Saturday. But you see,
Sunday
the
moves
way
to
the
Monday.
act is right now. Section 2 of the public holidays, I think it's Section 4. It says that if a holiday falls on a Sunday,
Monday becomes a holiday.
Monday becomes a holiday.
Yeah.
You know, it's something that is already there.
Yeah.
For those who are saying that they love this nation, they want to work, how come they have never contested that? So that if it appears on Sunday, let it stay on Sunday. I want to work tomorrow. But we have always agreed to that. But because it's a new idea, and of course, we are Kenyans, we fight ideas that we have not come up with. You know, so that's why sometimes somebody will not understand it. But I'm trying to convince Kenyans, because this will give us an opportunity. And you know, I have done my math. If this law was effective from January 2023, it could have only affected 3 days. 3 days this year. That is the Madaraka Day, which happened, I think, on Thursday. Then there's Utamaduni Day. And I think 20th is on a Thursday, is it? Check your calendar so that we can talk about something
It's
that...
a Friday, actually.
No, 20th of October. I have my calendar here. Oh, yeah, that's on a Friday. I think 12th, Jamhuri Day. Jamhuri Day is on a Tuesday.
So again, Monday
should have been, should be a holiday.
So only those 3 days.
Only those 3 days. Next year, only 2 days. The other year, 2025, 2 days. 2026, only 1 day.
Okay.
You know, it is not that something that is affecting so many days. And we have had conversations with the employers.
So you're saying you've done your math.
Yes.
So it's only those 3 days. Now, show me the mathematical benefit to the social welfare of the people, to the economy. Have you done the math on that?
Yes, I have done that. First of all, the economic boost, all right? This is by people traveling, all the matatus, you know? You know, people will be traveling around that time. The hospitality industry, the hotels, there will be activities because you have enough time. You create a festival, an event in your area. This is when people will be taking opportunities to do their home gatherings. I mean, there will be circulation of money wherever people are going to have these events. Today, they are not able to do that because probably we do not have such. Second, we are promoting domestic tourism. You know, in places like China, they do not require foreigners to come and visit their country. Why? Because they receive more money from domestic tourism. People travel. This is what we want, so that we understand. It was my first time to go to Migori the other day. I accompanied the president. A person of my stature, if I can say that, and age, is the first time I'm visiting Migori. The first time I'm visiting Turkana. Turkana, I have seen it since I was, I think, in class 1 by, you know, drawing the map of Kenya. You know, the lake that looks like a sock, you know. I have been doing that all through, but I've never gone there. Although I didn't even get opportunity to go there because we were there for work. I still now want to plan and go to Turkana so that I can
To the lake.
do that.
To
the lake.
Turkana County.
Yes. So, you see, people don't travel. And that's why there is infighting, because we do not understand our cultures. You know, I could see beautiful counties, Homa Bay, because, you know, we flew over Homa Bay, Migori, and Kisumu. Those counties are rich in productivity. They have sugar, they have tobacco, they have rice, they have water. But you see, all we know about these counties is what we see on TV when it comes to Mandamano, when it comes to other activities. So even when you're going there, you're very cautious. And I'm telling you this without contradiction. I am the chairman of the Roads, Transportation and Housing Committee at the Senate. We wanted to go to Homa Bay because we have budgeted for them to have a ferry that will be going from Homa Bay, from Bita to Homa Bay. That ferry is costing about 600 million. We budgeted for that through a petition that was brought by somebody from Homa Bay. But when we were planning to go there, we were told you cannot go. Why? Because it is the environment is not as good because of Mandamano. You know? So we have cancelled that trip again and again and again and again. So, but when I went there, I was like, these are the people I was told they are violent. They are not. You know, we were drinking, eating with them and telling jokes. I mean, it is normal. I mean, so by having an opportunity for our children even to go exchange programs, you know, if you look at this project as a bigger picture, not as a mere of now.
That's a holiday.
It's just a holiday. And those who are complaining, by the way, they don't have work. They're on holiday 365. You know, those who are complaining, unataka tuende holiday tufanye nini na hatuna kazi. Yes, already on holiday. I'm trying to get those who are working to have an opportunity to come and interact with you so that you understand what they do, so that you understand their work. So that is one of the things. The other issue is employee. You know, the employee of the day. The other day, you had the head of public service, Felix, saying that nobody should compensate, I don't know what the term he used, that your leave days, you should not sell your leave days to the government. You have to take leave. Why? Because he's realized people, you want to work so that you get money, but you forget yourself.
Your own.
People are not resting.
Yes, people are not resting. And good work ethics is equal to good rest ethics. You know? Because you cannot work. You remember, even when I was a broadcaster, we used to be told, take a leave, you're burned out, you have no new ideas, you go home and rest.
We were telling do that yesterday.
She should. Yeah. You know, go rest. You know, so people are not resting, but resting increases the employee's morale. When you're at home, you appreciate even your workplace. You even think, is that the best place that I should be? You know, you're given an opportunity to even interact with others and share what is your workplace. And remember, everybody is entitled for a leave day of 21 days in a year. All right? Somebody would argue, then let me use my 21 days to go somewhere and go and visit. But you see,
extras.
Turkana cannot create a music festival or a cultural festival for you
If
alone.
nobody comes. The thought is that when a holiday comes about, obviously nobody's put up. We're looking at a working nation.
Yes.
That whether you're looking at industry, whether you're looking at government in the private sector, etc., that you lose a day when it comes to holiday. And this is not saying that necessarily you have to be productive all the time, but that you lose a day. And so now here we are saying that we add another day by virtue of it's being preceded by a working day, that holiday, right?
Right.
Many have complained. A lot of times we've heard complaints, especially from external parties coming into Kenya to work and say the number of holidays are just too much. What would be a counter to that in this proposal, whereby we say, look, we're dipping in productivity because we've added another day, you know, to the holiday, because it will come. That counter will come.
You know, when we have holidays, it is not we are shutting down the country. All I'm trying to say is that we reorganize the way we do things. Even during Christmas, Spice FM never goes off, you know, which is a holiday that is known all over. Any other holiday, radio stations, TV stations, they are never shut down. What happens, you rearrange with your employees that I'm going to give these people an opportunity to go home this time, then we will compensate you maybe the next week or during the new year. So, but that does not mean that we should not take these holidays just because maybe we are saying that we feel like we're shutting down the economy. No. What I'm trying to say is, let the holiday be there. Then institutions, government offices, they reorganize themselves towards that holiday. You know, they can say, people will work half day on this day. All right? So that we give others an opportunity, those who want to travel. Maybe I don't want to travel.
Maybe you just want to rest.
Maybe I just want to rest. I want to sleep. Or maybe I just want to be in the office, like Ndu. You were saying, I want to be in the office. You know, I want to work. So you will tell her, Eric and City, we want to travel, so we'll leave you here, and she will be okay. All right, that is one of the things that we can do.
Please don't put ideas in these men's minds, because they're already thinking.
Two, as I was saying, everybody is entitled to 21 days leave, but we don't take this leave all together at the same time. I come from a very big family. We are 13 in my family, and I'm number 13. So within this family, assume we are all working, and we want to have a family get together to go and see our sister somewhere in Malindi. You see, unless we go to each and every office, you go to your office, request for that time off, request for that time off, request for that time off, which is very rare for all of you that need to be given that opportunity to travel, probably. But if there was a holiday like Easter, we plan, we know Easter is coming. This Easter is family get together, we are visiting one of us, or we are visiting our family or members or friends.
Yep.
Okay? So these days should be there for planning purposes. You might not even utilize them. You know, the government office, you know what used to happen in China, where I used to work as a radio presenter? We were told, within these 10 days, record all your shows. So that means I will work extra hard within these 5 days prior to. All right? I record all my shows, I plan them, and I put them there. You see, everything is running. When you are somebody who can do your work prior to, you are given that opportunity. But if you are not, you are an essential worker. You are told you will work for 5 days, and you go for 5 days, then come back and replace this person. So it's all about, it's not a blanket like shut down the country, go back home.
Yeah, make sure that there's continuity.
We are just giving you that opportunity so that you know. Just imagine if the whole standard group understands or gets to know that 12th of Jamhuri Day will be a long holiday, assuming Monday will also be a holiday. Can you imagine the events that this station can organize in different parts of the country? Just imagine. You know, marketing, the caravans. You know, there's so many things that can be done. But you see, we only do things. Do you know, it's only government officials enjoy this country. I want you to understand that.
They're the only ones who
They're only people who enjoy this country, who feel, you know, but the local wananchi, they don't. Why? Because government, when the president is in Migori for 5 days, you are with him.
Offices are closed.
Offices, everybody is there. I was there for 3 days, you see, for my first time. But when is that local person going to get that opportunity? Your employee cannot give you that. You hear the president is coming to Migori, give me leave for 3 days. I want to see what they're doing. Nobody will do that. We had devolution conference in Eldoret for 5 days. What was it made for? Meant for? It was meant for wananchi. But did they come? No. Who has 5 days? So it is the same people, we the governors, the senators, the MCAs, we are the same people.
County workers.
We come and sit together and we tell each other what we have been doing, but not the citizens. But what if we had, during that period, assuming there was a holiday, we say devolution conference is here, there are going to be these activities, Kenyans come. I'm telling you, everybody will be in that particular time.
Now those things you're saying are not in this bill, Bwana.
No. Now, mine is to provide the day. What you do with it is up to you.
How about, Senator, looking at the work hours in a week? And saying, because the whole issue here is, I get the thrust of very many things that you're saying, but I also hear this one of, it's important to rest. It's important for people to get rest time. It's important for people to get time to do other things outside of the employment or what they do. Then why don't you regulate the work hours and say Kenya shall move into a 20-hour working week?
Actually, that's where we're headed.
So then that gives you the rest of the hours.
No, that's okay. But that's where we're headed after this one. That's the direction. Because even if you get 2 more hours, you're not able to travel, you're not able to go far from wherever you are. You only have time to do your hustles, another business, you go do accounting to your small business. That one you can do. There are some countries that they are now working from Monday to Thursday.
France is one such country.
You see, France is doing that. There are countries like Saudi, children go to school from 7 a.m. to 12. They have free in the afternoon. Here, we have tried. But what have we tried? We have said no tuition. Instead of saying why we are banning tuition, why we are telling you not to do tuition, we're saying no tuition. So instead of telling parents, we want your child to rest, we want your child, whatever they learn from school is important, is enough. Let the child play. But you say we ban tuition without giving an explanation. So people think this government does not want our children to learn. You heard the other day, the CS education talks about when children should be going home. talks about, I think, 3 p.m. They should be going home from school, from class what to class what. What you're trying to say is that if we are able to come up with a nice structure of how we are going to take care of our people, both mentally, physically, and well-being of the society. Because people are depressed. You're depressed because you come from work where you have a very bad boss. Remember, not all bosses are good. All right? Then when you go home, you do not even have time to rest because your children there, you have to do CBC with them. You know, you don't even have time to unwind. So then you sleep. Then in the morning, the same boss again. So what I'm trying to say is that we need to look at the way we work as a nation.
We open up our minds.
Yeah.
There are many people online who are agreeing with the bill and saying this is a brilliant idea, and there are those who are saying this is a useless idea.
Of course.
Robert Bogo, for example, is saying Kenyans have very many pressing challenges. You know, we have issues. Of all the issues that you could really hear Kenyans complaining, this is the one you picked as a pain point.
You see, that was my starting point. That's why I told you, before we talk about holiday, can I first of all talk about other things that I'm doing? The reason why we're talking about holiday is because it is exciting. You know, it is a new idea. You know, so that's why even I'm being invited here because of this holiday bill. But I do have other bills that I will enumerate. I have them here. We are doing coffee bills, we have tea bill, we have sugar bill. Today, we are going to pass the health bills. We have them, but you see, health is not a very interesting topic to discuss, okay?
It is.
So, no, I'm saying to discuss.
Okay.
Sensationally, you know, like the way this health. And that's why somebody will say, of all, this is mine. I brought you bring yours. You know, Kenya gives every citizen an opportunity to bring law as long as it goes through their legislature. So if you have an idea, bring it to me. I will for sure take it forward. Yeah, rather than just saying, you know, every law must be brought by somebody. Yeah. There's somebody who went to court about LGBTQ and all those issues. I mean, you cannot say of all things, that's whatever their interest, whatever there is. But to answer him, Mbogo, I have an amendment of the PFM Act that is trying to reduce pending bills. Because the reason why we have pending bills, Eric, if I can explain very fast, is because, and I don't think so many people know this, the reason why we have pending bills is because counties or governors overproject, when they're making their budgets, overproject their own source revenue.
Right.
Okay? So, for example, I give you an example of Kiambu. Kiambu in the year 2022, 2023, they had said we are going to collect 3 billion. 3-point-something billion from own source revenue.
That's what they said.
Yes. But they collected 2.1. So what does that mean? In their budget, they were given permission to spend up to 3 billion. Okay? Because you see, what is in the budget is what you spend. You give contracts there because you have a budget. But when you collect 2.1, you have a deficit of 900 million. So that's pending bill because you don't have money.
You have no money to pay.
I give you now this example this year. Kiambu County, in the year 2023-2024, despite not collecting 2 billion, they have projected, by miracle maybe, they're going to collect 7 billion.
That's it.
Okay? 7 billion. So that means they are going to spend 7 billion, but collect again 3, worth of their budget, but then collect about 3. So they leave 4. So pending bills will never end. So what am I bringing as an amendment? The amendment is we have to cap it that you have to go a certain percentage higher from your previous collection. So if you collected 2.1 billion, you go 20% higher. So Kiambu should have only projected 2 billion and 200 million above that. That means you cannot use what you don't have. That is one law that is going to change this. But you see, again, we are not discussing it. I'm also discussing the term limits. I have another amendment for the term limits of chief officers. Chief officers are the little PSs in the county, if I can say that. The PSs in the county. Yeah. So I want to give them time limit. When a governor goes, he goes with his CEOs. Okay? Because you don't want...
What's the current situation like?
The current, you find them there.
You're stuck with it.
Why? You're stuck.
Are they permanent?
No. They were given contracts.
They have contracts.
They have contracts.
Right.
And every governor I mean by maybe default, they give them contract. No governor want to leave the CEOs there. But the new governors, when they come in, like in the case of Kiambu,
They need a carryover.
Kiambu government has not employed any CEO.
Yep.
They are working with the previous one.
Yeah.
Yep.
And what is happening? They are being told, I'm going to extend you 1 month so that you play along
So
with the
their
governor.
contract expired
They
just
expired.
before the new government came in.
Yes.
And they just keep renewing them by a month.
By a month, so that they keep you there. So because you don't want to lose your job, you have to do what the governor is saying. So I want to bring term limits so that when the governor comes, you have to employ new CEOs, because you have just like the president. President takes the PSs to the county assembly, to the National Assembly. The same thing. The county secretaries, of course, they have not said. The law does not say when that seat becomes vacant. You know, the others say by death, by resignation, by what. The county government is silent on that. And that's why in Kiambu County Government, we do not have a CS, you know, because
Who is the county secretary?
county secretary
He's
is...
head of public service in the county. Is it?
Yes, and also he sits at the cabinet. He's a secretary of the cabinet. So when you do not have a county secretary, that means that cabinet is unconstitutional. You know? So I'm saying I also have an impeachment bill. Remember, I went through the process.
You are impeached.
No, I wasn't. The purported.
Yes.
I also have an impeachment bill. Reason, I want just to make the process cleaner. You know, I'm not saying people should not be removed from office, but I don't want that to be used as a political kind of, you know, you're settling scores. So, and one of the issues is that I'm bringing that impeachment bill. You know, when a governor is impeached and brought to the Senate, there's a committee of 11 members that is formed to investigate. And when this committee finds the governor guilty, the matter is discussed by the Senate and they vote. But when this committee of 11 finds that the governor is not guilty, that matter ends there.
Yeah.
I want to remove that. To say either the committee finds the governor guilty or not guilty, the Senate must discuss that and vote on that. So that this committee should work without any interference. You know? Because if a matter can
So a
die.
report of the committee of the county assembly must end up in
Of the Senate.
of the Senate.
Yes.
Must end up in the plenary.
Must end up in plenary.
Okay.
Even after you do the investigation. If you say this governor
found nothing.
We have to scrutinize what you looked into and vote for that. That way, this committee will work without any intimidation. Because, you know,
What do you mean?
You know, when you are 11 members,
Yeah.
I mean, it is easy. Somebody can come in between and tell and do things. It has happened before.
Now, what are you trying to cure practically?
What I'm trying to cure.
Like from experience, what experience is this that you've seen in the Senate?
What I'm trying to cure is that to remove pressure to this committee. Okay? Because this committee of 11 people, when you're even doing your work, you hide.
Why?
Because there are people who are looking for you. You know, there are people.
What sort of people?
For example, you know, this committee must what do you call it? Must append their signatures to the report.
Yeah.
And the signatures must be 6 plus, about 6.
Yeah,
because
quorum.
5 plus 1. Okay? So that means if you don't have quorum, that report is not...
He's dead.
Is dead. So you only need to get rid of 3 members or 4 members from the committee. You know? So we are trying to remove that pressure because there could be kidnapping, there could be... We hide when you are writing the report. You are told you are not going home because we don't know whether you are coming back. You know what I mean? Yeah? Because it is... I'm telling you, it's a serious
It's a
thing.
high stakes game, basically.
Yes.
That's what we're talking about.
When we were doing our report in Kawera Mwangaza issue,
Yeah.
and I was a committee member.
You were among the 11.
Yes, among the 11. And we did our work, of course, without any interference. But when we were signing, all of us had to be in the same hotel. There was a lot of security. And we left the hotel a few minutes to the Senate session. We had the what do you call that? We had the security. Outriders. You know, going with us all the way. And I was like, oh my God, this is not it. because you don't want also now anything to happen for these senators. But if they were just led to whatever they have to do, either the report comes saying governor to go, it must be scrutinized by the Senate. If the committee report says governor should stay, the same report must be scrutinized. So you leave it to the senators. You widen the scope of whoever is going to have a say, rather than have only 11 members to do the work of the Senate. Even if we are delegated, even if we are an extension, you don't want to leave it for only 11 people to execute what the whole Senate was supposed to do.
It's interesting that some of these things that you're bringing up, I mean, we start from looking at what the Public Holidays Act says and some of these other, amendments that you're seeking to bring in. You seem to be harping on the quality of a delivery as opposed to the length of time that you spend on it. So whether we're talking about an impeachment, how do we now ensure that it's not being used as a political weapon? When we're talking about public holidays, even if you're going to work for 3 days, can we then insist on the quality that you're delivering when you're in that job position and saying, yes, there needs to be time to rest? When we're talking about, pending bills, we're saying, look, for goodness sake, how can you say you will spend more than you actually have in your hand? If you look at an overarching principle, is that not what I'm hoping that your mindset is now going towards the quality over the wasted time that we continue seeing happening, especially in government, especially at the legislature.
Yeah, we have that in mind. But you see, the law, once every law is passed, what follows is the cabinet secretary who is in charge of that law to come up with regulations. And now regulations, they prescribe now into details. What should happen, at what time. They even talk about time. But the law is a structure to just create that framework to execute that idea. Then that idea is broken down by regulation. Then after the regulations, then the office, they have to come up with their circulars and everything. So, because I'm just mentioning that, and you have talked about the duration of impeachment, it is also touched within the pending bill, within the amendment bill. Actually, it's a new law within the bill. It is in there because, again, we want to remove the emotions. The impeachment, somebody just today happens, the emotions. We want to just increase the duration a little bit, so that at least even the governor has time to reach out, because it could be just political. What we are doing is that I'm not removing the power of the county assembly. I'm only enhancing it by removing what I've experienced or what others have experienced on what the Senate has experienced. I have another law.
Okay.
That is anti-campaign lies law. Anti-campaign lies.
Okay.
Uongo. Lies law.
False promises.
Not necessarily false promises.
Lies.
Lies against your opponents when you're running. Because if you lie about your opponent, you are voted for under pretense.
Oh, like saying this person insulted women.
Yes.
Okay.
You have to prove that. Somebody can go to court and say, prove it. I said that. I give you an example of Kiambu in the year 2017 when Governor Kabogo was said to have insulted women.
Yep.
And everybody talked about that. But when you asked where he said that, nobody can prove, but everybody knew that. If this law was there, he could have gone to court and bring the materials of his opponent saying this, said this and this. If you cannot prove that, then you are trying to lie to people. All right?
But
look at it this way.
Senators, there's already a law on defamation.
No. That is not as direct as that. There's freedom of expression. They say that. The Election Act only deals with the procedures.
There's defamation.
But you see, defamation is a different character altogether. It will take ages for you to prove you defamed somebody. All right? But
this is specific to an election campaign.
To answer the election. Let me give you an example of a good friend of mine, Boni Kalwale, who is a senator of Kakamega and my whip. And I'm giving this example because I want you to see what I mean.
Okay.
Before he joined, President Ruto in his campaign. He was on the other side. Just check his videos before. All right? Check his videos before he joined the UDA side when he was in ODM. He used to call President, he's a thief. He used to say things that when you listen to them today, you don't understand. But you come to this side, all of a sudden you have forgotten the thief tag and everything that you had said. So that means you are lying to us for your own. All right? So if somebody would go and say, this guy called me a thief, and he was voted for because he painted my name as a thief to the voters, you need to prove I am one. So that when you're doing our campaign, we sell our visions, not necessarily mudslinging other candidates.
Yeah.
And you know, it is not new. It has happened in the UK.
But now, Mheshimiwa,
Yes.
you're going to remove the fund from...
No. You know, that's why. You know why? Do you know why women are afraid?
Of what?
Do you know why women
partic-
are afraid of getting into politics?
yeah.
Because somebody will say, this one slept 1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
Yeah.
You know, they don't want their name.
People say I'm really crazy.
Verbal
Say,
abuse.
so I also want to help women so that by the time you say that, my friend, you have to prove, you have to bring all of us, all those men, you have to bring them to the court and tell me 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So we're trying to clean up the way we do our politics. You right? That is one. And the final one is equitable distribution of development at the ward levels. You know, MCAs have always been crying of ward fund. Of course, ward fund is not constitutional, but nothing stopped the governor from bringing equitable development to the ward by saying, and that is what my law is saying, 60% of the development monies in every county should be shared equally to every ward. All right? 60%.
Equal, not equitable.
Equally. First of all, equally. That's why I'm saying 60.
Okay.
Equally to every ward. So that every ward now with that money, for example, there are some counties that are doing that already. The county of Uasin Gishu, the county of Narok. Narok, every ward is getting 100 million. Every ward. They have 30 wards. All right? It's getting 100 million. That 100 million, the citizens of that ward, the residents of that ward, will sit down with the MCAs and everybody and say, these are our priority projects. We are an area where we need cattle dip, we do cattle dip. We need road, probably we don't need road for this year, we need water. So that they use their money the way they want. Also this way, we remove the governors from, saying this is a good MCA, a friend of mine, I'll do more projects than this other who is asking me questions. So this law will tell every governor, 60 at least. We're not saying just 60. If you can do 100,
60.
well and good.
So
but
the other 40?
Minimum. The other 40 is left now for the governor,
The
the executive, to do flagship projects. Major projects, hospitals, level 4s, the stadia, depending on the priority. Okay?
There's no point of having a CLDP.
No. That will be put in the CIDP. The law is saying everything that you are saying must be put in the CIDP.
Okay.
So this process should begin way before
so that the residents of a ward come up with their own priorities.
With their own.
So, and they also know that in the next 5 years we have 500 million shillings,
Yes,
for example. in
they
the
can
case of-
plan.
And you start planning.
Right.
We'll get you.
So you have seen, it's not just holiday.
It's not just holiday.
We are working.
Thank you very much, Miracle Senator, for joining us. KARUNGO Athangwa is the Senator for Kiambu County. He's been our guest this morning. Yes, some of these bills that he's proposing, they make sense. And even the one on public holidays, by the way, I see the sense. Personally,
Yes.
I see the sense. Whether I agree with it or not is a different matter. It will now come after public participation.
Right.
This is the Situation Room, the only way to start your day.